Hi kids, in this video today I'm going to show you the basics of using the program called TinkerCad to make 3D designs for the 3D printer. So first I'm going to go to the TinkerCad program. When the program opens, to make a new creation, what you're going to do is you're going to click on New Design. All right, so this is what the program looks like. This blue area is the building area where you build your 3D design. Over here, the main tool that you're going to be using in my class is the area called Basic Shapes. And in here, there's lots of different shapes that when you put them together, you can make a 3D design. There's other categories in here too that you can click and check out. There's design starters. So there's some things in here too. There's creatures and characters, vehicles and machines. You can click through these areas to check things out and explore. But mainly for the projects that we make in my class, we're going to be using basic shapes. And I'm going to show you some of the things that you can do with these basic shapes, because you can pretty much make just about anything by putting together these shapes and resizing them to make what you want. Today we're just going to explore, so you can click all over on any of the tools on this page just to check it out and see what you can do. So let me just show you a couple things and then you can give it a try. We are not going to 3D print the design we make today. We're just going to try it out. So you can drag shapes onto the building plate and see right now there's just a cube. By the way, each of these little squares on the building plate is 1 centimeter. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see those a little bit better. So you see this cube is about 2 centimeters in each direction. And if you notice, there's even smaller squares inside of each section. Each of those is 1 millimeter long. Now, you can drag shapes and put them onto the build plate. You can put things together to make things. Say, for example, let's say I get out this triangle shape. I could combine it onto my cube. If you want things to stick together, you put them together and then you drag your mouse across and then you pick group. That makes things stick together. What if you want to put something on top here? Like, see how I have this cylinder? If I drag it over, it won't let me put it on top. It will just let me put it into there, because whenever I drag out a shape, it puts it on this blue building plane. If you want to add something to the top, what you do is you go to the work plane tool and you drag it out and you put the work plane on top of the area you want to add something to. And then you could add something like, see, now I could put this on top. See that? To go back to the bottom layer, you just drag, click that arrow to make that go away. You can drag this back out and just kind of set it back underneath it to get back to the bottom. If you want to make all of these shapes stick together, you drag your mouse across it and you pick group. There we go. So now all of these things are stuck together. So now if I move this, the whole shape has become one. If you ever decide, let's say I decided I wanted to delete one of these, I need to ungroup it. Drag my mouse across. This tool is called Ungroup. you want to delete something, it's very similar to using docs or slides. You click the thing you want to delete. Like let's say I'm like, oh, I think I want to delete this cylinder shape. So I click on it and then I push backspace and there it deletes. You can also click shapes, and to delete, you can also pick the garbage can. If you make a mistake, let's say you drag a shape out and you decide you didn't want it, another thing you can do is you can pick undo. That makes things go away too. There's usually more than one way to make things work. You can resize things to make them different sizes. So let's say I drag out a cube, but I really want a flat rectangle. You can drag this down, like see right now, that's 6 millimeters thick. You can drag your corners to resize. You can also, here's some other things you can do. You can make words by dragging out text. You can, if you click this little drop down arrow, you can change your text. You can pick a different font. There's not a lot of fonts, but you can choose the font you like. Okay. Just delete that. You can resize your text also. Sometimes that box gets in the way. Click that. You can resize your text by dragging it down. I'll show you a mistake that sometimes some people make. Sometimes when people are resizing things, they accidentally put it underneath the building plate. If you do that, it won't 3D print right. Like let's say I was going to make this rectangle a little bit shorter and I accidentally dragged it down. If you view your building plate from the front, see how that's under the build plate? If I went to 3D print that, it wouldn't work. You have to make sure that you bring it back up. It needs to be at level 0. Level 0 is the build plate. Or if you have a shape floating up in the air, it won't 3D print. Over here, you can pick home. You can view your things from the top, the front, the sides. So you can move this around so you can see things in different directions. You can always pick home to go back. If you want to zoom in, you can zoom in to your build plate. So those are some of the things that you can do. I think this tool flips things over. Like let's say I need it to flip my hello word over. You could click on it and flip it over. So today just click on these things and give it a try and see what you can make.